Chapter 17. Trust No One. Sandy Lopez was driving on the I-10 highway the next morning headed towards Mexico. The sun was beaming down as he reached the desert area. From his vehicle, he could see the horizon for miles. Clean, serene, and nothing to stop him. Just how he liked it. Some of his lower-level drug affiliates were already being arrested by the local government and the FBI. Sandy was unbothered by this news, as he knew once he crossed the border that he would be untouchable by the FBI. Sandy decided to call Detective Kelly to inform him that their lucrative business partnership was now over.
Detective Kelly, I am sure you know by now that I had to leave your city.
Sandy said as soon as the call was picked up. He had a hint of pride in his voice and of relief.
I had a lot in my organization. However, we have taken care of that problem. It was a pleasure collaborating with you, my friend. Stay safe,
said Sandy.
Damn, Sandy, how could you let this happen?
Detective Kelly was upset as he spoke.
I expected this type of shit from those niggers, but you Mexicans usually manage your business better than this, my friend,
said Detective Kelly. He knew something like this happened with drug organizations. He thought it was a long time coming anyway for Sandy Lopez's organization. Since his opportunity to exploit a certain pharmacy director had imploded, Detective Kelly knew he needed new ways to get extra revenue.
You are so right, my friend. However, our partnership is now over,
informed Sandy Lopez.
I don't like hearing that news, but I understand. You be safe in Mexico. That is where you are headed, right?
Detective Kelly asked, but got no answer. The call had already been cut off. The detective realized that his extortion and protection money schemes were quickly going to dry up. He immediately called Richard Kelly to inform him that he now had no competition in the city. Richard Kelly was now free to sell any drugs in the city, but only if Detective Kelly received his protection money.
Richard, I have some good news for you. The Mexicans were forced to leave the city. As of now, you have no competition,
Detective Kelly said proudly. That is great news for all of us, Richard exclaimed. Also, since you got rid of the black girl selling the prescription pills, we can now sell that product in the city too. Things are starting to look up here. Stop by the car dealership later. I want to reward you with a brand new car of your choice. Detective Kelly got excited at the news.
That is great. I will call you soon to pick up that vehicle and some cash, if you don't mind. I'm running a little low and could also use some gas money.
Later that day, Sandy Lopez reached the Mexican border and easily crossed the checkpoint. He always had the papers and the passport needed for when things like this happened. Sandy knew that this wouldn't go well with the bosses. However, he didn't know how much they knew already about destroying the FBI safe house where his nephew had been stashed. Sandy went to his retreat, only to find a reckoning waiting for him. When he arrived at his village, Sandy was not greeted with a warm welcome. The drug cartel that he worked for was terribly upset that Sandy allowed $1 million a month operation to be destroyed by his nephew, A.J. Black. As Sandy walked into his plush estate to find his beloved sister Maria gagged and tied to a chair, Sandy Lopez's face was frozen in shock and fear. He never expected things to be this bad.
Wait, what are you doing? Everything is okay. I brought you all the money owed to you and the drugs. I left no witnesses, so we are free to sell our product in a new location.
Sandy began explaining himself, but he was shut down by the boss. Sandy Lopez, said a large man with a hoarse tone. The man wearing a very sharp suit that seemed more expensive than the estate. The money? He said, pointing towards a stack of cash near Maria. And drugs, he said, pointing towards the dope next to his sister on the other side. Is not the problem. You allowed that fucking nephew that you vouched for to fuck up our operation. That's $1 million per month that we cannot get back. You must look at the big picture. Sandy Lopez began to cry.
Please do not do this to us.
He went down to his knees, tears streaming down his face.
I can be a high earner for you again. Just let me show you Please do not do this to us. Let me show you.
Sandy said as he palmed his hands together, almost like a prayer. My friend, it is way too late for that now. The boss walked towards Sandy and touched his face in pity. I love you and your sister. I do, dearly. However, you know the consequences, and now you and your sister must pay the price. The cartel boss ordered his men to behead both Sandy Lopez and his sister. Without hesitation, a small, sweaty man with long, wavy hair came from the left side of the room with a machete in hand, serving 2 swift, waving movements. As was custom for betrayal, both heads were placed on wooden stakes at the entrance of Sandy Lopez's Mexico estate for all to see. The cartel boss left their heads there as a warning to all in the area. He would not tolerate any fuck-ups, no excuses.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. If you had fun or picked up anything from this episode, please assist us by hitting the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. You can also comment and share our content. These small things really help our channel and mean a lot to us. Also, special thanks to our Patreon supporters. You guys are the heartbeat of this channel, and we can't thank you enough for being so generous. If you would like to join our Patreon community, please click on the link below. You can contribute as little as $5 per month. You can get all kinds of perks. You can even buy merchandise of your favorite characters at our shop store. Click on the link provided below. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, remember you are cherished by us. So be kind and know that we consider you as family.